Welcome to today's webinar. I'm happy you take the time today to listen in for this session about mobile device management. And we want to introduce you to mobile device management in all its details, mostly looking into the interface, looking into the backend, talking about the benefits itself and how you could leverage mobile device management within TeamViewer yourself. My name is Fabian Schenk. I'm Senior Demand Generation Manager and team lead of the content team at TeamViewer EMEA. And I'm happy also that we are joined by two valuable speakers today. Let me introduce you today's speakers. Maximilian Geiselhart will talk you through the product itself. He has knowledge and experience on mobile device management already. And although it's fairly new to TeamViewer and to the TeamViewer product environment, he will be presenting today. We have another additional guest here as well, who is supporting for the Q&A. It's Wolfram Wilms, and he can answer your questions at the end as well, to if they are specific to any details on the technical aspects. And I think that's it from my side. Feel free, as mentioned, to add any questions you have during the session. And I will hand over to Max for the presentation.
All right. Thank you very much, Fabian. Let's dive straight into our brand new product released just a few weeks ago. And I'll be walking you through it and showing you what it's capable of. So here, what we have on the agenda for today. First of all, we'll start discussing the challenges you might encounter while managing mobile devices in your company. Next up, we'll explore how TeamViewer can assist you in overcoming those challenges, and also our collaboration that we have with Ivanti, which you might know by its former name, Mobile Iron. Following that, we'll have a quick product demonstration, and I'll guide you through the user interface so you can get a feel of how it all works. And then we'll also touch on licensing. And then we have a treat from Ivanti, some customer success stories. You'll hear from businesses that have already integrated their mobile device management solution. And lastly, we'll have a Q&A session. So feel free to ask your questions in the chat, and we'll address them after the presentation. All right, now first of all, let's talk about the omnipresent topic of mobile phones and tablets. These devices are part of our daily lives, cutting across all age groups. Their significance in the business world is continuously growing. So the trend is shifting from laptops and PCs towards smartphones, and every company will need a mobile device management solution to keep things in order, not like that. So it can get pretty chaotic pretty fast, and you want to have an order and have everything streamlined. So we designed this webinar to make it a bit interactive. So we spread out a few survey questions throughout the presentation. So let's get ready for the first questions. And at the end of the webinar, we'll show the results, and you can see how you voted compared to the others. So it pays off to stay until the end. It will be really interesting, I guess. So the question is, how many mobile devices do you manage at your company? So maybe there are a few listeners who don't manage mobile devices yet. The most will fall into the category of 1 to 99, I guess. And maybe there are even some listeners that have more than 1,000 mobile devices. So please go ahead, give your vote, and then at the end we will have the results. All right. So 1/3 of you, almost half of you already gave their vote. I'll just wait for a few more seconds to give everyone the chance. All right. then let's jump to the next slide. So TeamViewer and Ivanti, the collaboration. Why we are a dream team. First of all, let's give you a general overview of the two companies. So TeamViewer, we are located in Germany, in the south of Germany, in Göppingen, where I'm sitting right now. Ivanti is from Utah, from the USA. And I have about 1,400 colleagues. Ivanti has a bit more with 3,200. And then our revenue was at 566 million euros last year. Ivanti was close to $1 billion. And we are the experts for remote access and remote management solutions, and also for remote support for hardware and machinery that we utilize augmented reality for. And of course, IT security is extremely important for us. Ivanti is the expert for endpoint management, and under that category also falls mobile device management and IT security as well. So why do we have this collaboration? I already told you we're the expert with remote access and remote management, also in the space of augmented reality. We have a similar collaboration with Malwarebytes in the space of endpoint protection and endpoint detection and response. And now the last missing puzzle piece to make the platform complete was the mobile device management solution. So similar to what we did with Malwarebytes, we integrated their features into the TeamViewer dashboard. And so that way you can have the benefit of a central platform where you can access everything from and organize your whole IT. And the other benefit is that you still have the expert systems. So everybody has their core competence, and you can have both of these benefits with that model. Of course, everything is GDPR compliant. That's extremely important for us and for our customers. And we have several certifications. The most important is the ISO, the SOC, and the HIPAA certification for healthcare providers. And of course, I get that asked quite a lot lately. We are also compliant with the new NIS 2 law. All right, so let's jump into the product itself. I will show you how it looks and how you can make the most of it. So this is our new TeamViewer remote platform, which you might already be familiar with, and you can access it through your web browser or the local app on your device. And now when you would navigate to remote management, you'll find the mobile device management section here. Clicking on overview provides you with some helpful graphics to give you a general overview of your mobile device situation. You can see, for example, the number of iOS and Android devices, as well as the count of users and how many enrolled their devices and how many are still pending. And you can also differentiate between company-owned and user-owned devices, especially in the context of bring your own device. So that means you can manage not only company-owned devices, but also that owned by the users. Next, if you click on users, so you can see not only the devices, but also the users associated with them. And to invite a new user, you simply click on that button on the upper right and then enter their email address or multiple email addresses. And then after that, they'll receive an email with a link to enroll their device. So she's pretty happy about the email. And it will guide you or the user through step-by-step instructions. Alternatively, you can also use zero-touch deployment or the Apple Business Manager to pre-configure the devices using their serial numbers. And then when they come online, they will automatically be registered without the user having to do some manual tasks. So now that we've added a new user, if you click on that user, you'll see detailed information like their email address and the associated devices. For example, this user has 2 devices. And what you can do is you can send them a push notification with up to 128 characters. Or if you send a more extensive message, you can also send an email right from here. And then, of course, you have the option to filter the users to find specific users, such as those who haven't completed the registration process yet. So that way you have a more organized view. And also to have a more organized view, you can use the user groups. This is handy if you have different departments within your organization, for example. And then in the devices, on the devices button, you see all the devices that are associated with those users or that you enrolled here. And when you click on a device, you can access information like its serial number or operating system. And you can also interact with the device, for example, by remotely wiping it in case of loss or theft. Now, let's move to our next question, to our next survey question. Remember, at the end of the webinar, we'll show the results and you can see how you voted compared to others. So the question is, have you or someone you know ever lost or had your mobile phone stolen? So this is also pretty interesting from you. Maybe for me, maybe it happened to yourself or to someone who lost it or someone stole their phone. So I see you're still a bit hesitant. So please vote that we have some data for you to show you at the end. All right, so about half of you voted already. I'll wait a few more seconds. All right, let's go on. So again, in the device, we clicked on the device, and now in the settings section, you can find configurations, policies, and apps enrolled on that device. So this leads us already to the next question. Approximately, how many devices, how many applications are installed on your company mobile devices? So to give you a ballpark, the European average is about 34 devices. Maybe there are some devices you only have one single app, maybe special devices. Maybe even some have more than 40 apps. But I think most will fit into the category 30 to 40. But I'm curious of how you vote. Of course, you don't have to go to your phone and count all your apps. It's just an approximation. All right, just a few more seconds, and then we can move on. Okay, of course, here are filters available here as well, allowing you again to narrow down the list of devices you can see. For example, if you only want to see all your iPhone 14s, you can set that filter. And now you only see the devices that you want to see. And with the user groups, you also have the device groups here to keep things organized. Let's jump to the next section, to the settings, where you'll find the 3 crucial components of the mobile device management. This is the apps, the configurations, and the policies. So here in the apps tab, you see a list of all the apps that you've enrolled or that are on your devices that you manage. The configuration tab covers general settings like Wi-Fi or email configurations. You can also see if an error occurred here somewhere after rolling it out. And then the policies, they are more about security related settings and restriction policies, for example. And then next up, if you go to the settings, you will get to the advanced settings. And if you click here on the Go to Settings button, you will be redirected to the Ivanti dashboard. So this really seamless connection, so you don't need an additional login or account or something like that. You will jump straight into the right menu. And from here, you can, for example, add new apps and also configurations and policies. And then from here, you will also roll them out. So if you want to roll out a new app, let's do it quickly. You just click on Add. And then after that, you select the App Store. So we support Android and iOS devices. Then you just search the name for the app. In that example, we want to roll out Outlook. After selecting it, you will be guided through the process of rolling it out. You will see some general information about the app. You can decide whether or not you want to create a separate space for that app on your device, again in the context of bring your own device. So if the device is not company owned, you can do that and still maintain privacy. And then next up, you can choose whether you want to roll the app out to everyone or only specific users, devices, or groups. You can also set app-specific pre-configurations to be deployed alongside with the app. The process of creating and deploying configurations is actually quite similar. For that, you click on the configurations and then you click again on Add. And now you can see all the various options to choose from. Here are filters available as well. Let's say we only want to see configurations that are available for Android devices. We set the filter. And let's use Wi-Fi settings as an example here. So if you want to give your employees access to your company Wi-Fi, you just enter the necessary information here, such as the Wi-Fi name and the SSID. And then you can distribute the configuration to all devices or again to specific ones only. That's basically it. So it's really easy to use. And then moving on to policies, the process is also similar to what we saw with the apps and the configurations. So here you click on policies and then let's add a new one. For this example, let's select the app whitelist. So what apps are allowed on that device that the user can download themselves. So you choose a name for the policy first. And then after you did that, you can choose the apps you want to allow users to download from the App Store. You just search for the app. That's for the sake of simplicity, use the example of Outlook again. And then, of course, you can also choose several apps here at once. And that way, in that example, you can give the users the option to choose between whether they want to download Outlook or Gmail, but no other email app. Then next up, you can decide whether to block the apps completely or only receive notification if a restricted app was downloaded. Let's say we want to block the app completely, and then you just click on Next, and then again, you choose if you want to apply the policies to specific devices or to all devices or to groups. Yeah, that's how you set up and roll out apps configurations and policies. And then when you're in the Ivanti dashboard, you can also from here remotely control a device. You just go to the devices section, click on a device, open the menu, and then click on Start TeamViewer Remote Control here. You can now remotely control Android devices or view a live screen share of iOS devices. And of course, you can do the same thing from within the TeamViewer dashboard as well. So that was the product demo. It's just showing you a few features, how it looks, how it feels, and what's possible with it. Now we will get to the license model. So this is actually an add-on. That means it's not a standalone product, but you can add it to your premium, corporate, or Tensor license. Depending on what your needs are, you can choose from 3 different packages. So we have the Essential package, Advanced, and Enterprise. In the Essential package, there are the core features of an MDM only, meaning app management, configurations and policies, and also remote wipe and lock. So these features that I show here, these are not all of the features. There are, for each package, there are more features available, but that list would be way too long to show everything. So I just summarized the most important features here. Then if you want to have some more capabilities, like remotely controlling the device or using zero-touch deployment or compliance monitoring, you would choose the Advanced package. And then in the Enterprise package, you have even more features like file sharing capabilities, per app VPN, if you want to allow certain apps to only connect via VPN, you can do that with that feature. And then you have zero sign-on. You might have heard about that feature. It's similar to single sign-on, but without a password, basically. So you use your phone to do the authentication, and only your phone for that. Okay, let's get to the success stories. So businesses who are already using the Ivanti solution. So first up, we have Conair. You might have known the brand. They produce consumer goods like hair dryers and stuff like that. They're located in Connecticut in the USA, have a revenue of about $2 billion yearly and about 3,600 employees. And for them, they had to manage 700 smartphones, iOS and Android smartphones, spread out across the USA and Europe. And what was really important for them was the zero sign-on feature. So they wanted to use their phones as an identity provider to authenticate to different services like Microsoft Office. That was the main feature here. Then the National Institute of Health, which is actually the primary federal agency for public health in the US. They're located in New York, have about 27 institutes and centers spread out across the US with 18,000 employees. And for them, it was extremely important to make sure that all of the mobile devices are compliant with HIPAA and also the reporting feature. So for the sake of auditability, this was the key feature here. Next up, Skoda. You probably know, everybody knows it, automotive manufacturer from Czechia with around 21 billion euros yearly revenue and 36,000 employees. So they wanted to deploy 1,000 iPads to their sales centers across Great Britain to give the salespeople the option to access all relevant documents like price lists or feature lists of the cars and stuff like that, and just have an iPad instead of a huge folder and a lot of paperwork. So they can use iPads and also give their customers a better experience. And of course, for that, you need a central file management to make sure everybody can access the right files, the right versions. And that was the primary feature that Škoda needed here. And that brings us to the next question. So the next survey question. How is it in your business? Do you need to access documents on your company mobile device? If you think about salespeople, for example, maybe you are at the customers and you want to access a presentation or something like that, or if you think about PDF documents that you might store or access from your device. So also not only think about smartphones, but of course tablets as well. All right. I'll wait a few more seconds, give everybody the chance. Please vote so you can see how you voted in comparison to the others at the end. You can maybe learn something too. Okay. Now we're about half. Let's move on. So let's summarize this. Why do you need a mobile device management? Of course, you need to manage all of your apps. You need to make sure that your apps, but also your operating systems are up to date. You need to centrally pre-configure settings like email settings. You need to make sure that you don't have a data breach if a device is lost or stolen. You need to make sure to be able to access files from your phone. You need security policies like password rules. Of course, everything needs to be GDPR compliant, and then it needs to be scalable. So no matter how many devices you have or how fast you're growing, the mobile device management has to keep up, of course. And then you need it because it's the future. It's a future-proof technology. We'll see more and more mobile devices in the business section in the future. And also mobile devices that you might not think about today, like smart glasses or digital signage solutions or point of sale systems. Basically anything that runs on Android that is not a smartphone or a tablet, that also falls under the category of mobile device management. And now our last survey question. Does your company use Android-based devices other than smartphones and tablets? This is perhaps the most interesting question here, because there are a lot of interesting possibilities with Android. As I said, augmented reality. I think this is something that not a lot of you already use, but looking into the future, it will become more and more relevant. All right. Then we can already move on with the results of the survey. I am excited to see what you voted for. So first up, how many mobile devices do you manage at your company? This is more or less like I expected. Most of you are in the range of up to 100 devices, and some of you are between 100 and 1,000. And there are also a few of you who don't have mobile devices yet, but are interested in the solution, looking forward into the future. Have you or someone you know ever lost or had your mobile phone stolen? Yep, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Everybody, pretty much almost everybody, knows someone, or for me, it actually happened myself. It got stolen, so that's not good. Approximately, how many applications are installed on your company mobile devices? This is a bit surprising for me, actually. Most of you only have up to 19 apps on their company mobile devices. As I said, the European average is 34, and there are quite some actually that have more than 40. So something I learned today. Do you need to access documents on your company mobile device? So most of you don't, but there are some that use mobile devices also to access documents, to store documents, and maybe even edit documents like Word files, PowerPoint presentations, and stuff like that. All right, most interesting for me, does your company use Android-based devices other than smartphones and tablets? And this is more or less what I expected. So most of you don't have that yet, but 14%, that's quite significant, already use those kind of devices. All right, that's for the presentation. Now we can jump to the Q&A. So I hope you have some good questions for me and for my colleague from the technical support team. Fabian,
Yeah.
What does the chat say?
Thank you, Maximilian. There's quite some questions coming in. Feel free to still put your questions if there are any. If you feel there's things that you might want to have more information on that we might have not touched in that details you would like to or would need, then always feel free now to still submit your questions. We will start with the questions that are already coming in. First question, and maybe this is to you, Max, because we mentioned it slightly at the beginning. What is the difference between mobile device management and mobile device support?
Yep, that's an excellent question. So we offer for the premium and corporate license, and also for the business license, we offer the mobile device support add-on that allows you to remotely control an Android device or see a live screen sharing of the iOS device. And then the mobile device management goes far deeper into the actual management, rolling out apps and stuff like that, what I showed you. So the mobile device support, that's only for the remote control, basically.
Okay, thank you. So as soon as you want to connect and do stuff on the devices themselves, like supporting with setting up a few things, finding information and stuff like that, that's mobile device support. And if you would like to centrally manage all those settings, be on the safe side of all the things that Maximilian mentioned, then mobile device management comes into play.
Exactly.
Next question, is geolocation a feature and the wipe of a device if it leaves the location? Maybe in addition to that, you can you summarized it quite nicely at the end of the presentation, but maybe you can also give a quick overview on the features, functionality overall of this solution.
So with geolocation, you have a few possibilities here with the MDM. You can, for example, allow or not allow different apps to use your geolocation. And then if your device was stolen, you can locate that device. So you have a few possibilities regarding that. Maybe Waldemar, maybe you have some more details on that.
Yes. Okay. I think so geolocation is supported basically, yes. But I think this case where you just check where is this device and then wipe, this is not supported. No, sorry.
There's some kind of like stolen mode. So if your device was stolen, and then you can locate it afterwards. But I think this is also has to do with GDPR. So you can't actually all of the time see where your colleagues are located at.
Okay, thank you, Max. Thank you, Waldemar, for those answers. I think as we have seen in the poll overview and results, a lot of people already have faced issues with lost phones. So I think that's where all this functionality on geolocation and wiping is most useful. So no matter if it's stolen or located or leaves at geolocation, you can always use the wipe functionality as well, right? Maximilian?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Next question.
Or the remote lock function too. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Is it possible to remove bloatware on rollout as well? Like if you imagine having those Samsung sponsored whatever apps being installed on your devices already, is there something that can be handled on the app management within mobile device management?
A very good question. So pre-installed crap software that you don't need. So I have to forward that question directly to you, Waldemar. Can you remove such apps?
No, sadly not.
Okay, maybe that would be a feature request.
Of course, already added.
Oh, perfect. So that is actually already a feature request. Very good.
So the team is already on it right now. It would not be possible, but of course it's always possible to remove and install apps that you manage through mobile device management. Next question. Is it possible to manage Windows mobile devices as well? I think we talked about iOS and Android. Is similar things available for Windows?
This is a clear no. We only are able to manage iOS and Android devices. Also BlackBerry, not. Only Android from up to version 10 and iOS devices.
Okay. Thank you. Maybe an additional question to that is in the same direction. Is there any limitations on manufacturers of mobile devices being supported with MDM?
No, not really. As I said, you need to have at least Android version 10, but then basically everything that runs Android you can manage. There's no restrictions.
Okay, thank you. Another question that just came in. What needs to be installed on the device to get it up and running, and is it easy to install? So I think it's about the enrollment. Maximilian?
Yep. So there are two ways you can enroll the device. As I said, you can send the invitation to the user, or you can use zero-touch deployment and type in the serial number into Ivanti, and then when the device comes online, the configuration and all the apps will automatically deploy it. And this will also install the Ivanti app as well as the TeamViewer app on that device automatically. So whether you choose one or the other option in both ways, the Ivanti app and the TeamViewer app will be installed. And it's really easy. I did it myself too. I sent myself an invitation, clicked on the button in the email, and then I was guided through the whole process. and it's very user-friendly and very easy.
Perfect. Thank you, Max. Another question in lines of the management and possibilities within or on-device management itself. Can patching be managed, meaning stop the device prompting users to run or schedule an update?
That's a very good question. I think it's possible, Waldemar, but I need your help here again.
Yes, exactly. This is possible, so you can push your updates when you want to push them.
So all update cycles is up to the administrator and not the end user itself. Perfect. Another question, can we get a trial for the add-on, and is the license based on number of devices or tiers?
Yes, the license is based on the number of devices, and generally it is possible to have a trial version. I recommend you to get in touch with our sales team, and then they will be able to provide you with that. And also, the more devices you purchase, the less the price per device. So depending on how much devices you purchase, you might get a discount too.
Okay, thank you, Maximilian. We have 3 more questions that are currently in, so I think we can still manage to do them, although we are running on the 45 minutes mark already. Then the one question would be in addition to the remote wipe questions that we already answered, does the application give confirmation when a device has been successfully remotely wiped?
So you mean the device itself? Yes. Okay. Yes. Basically, the device will be, all of the data of the device will be deleted, and the device will be reset to factor settings. So it will be like a completely new device. So, right, Waldemar?
Yes, if you just set this function wipe a device, then you get a notification successfully wiped, and then it's wiped.
So on admin as well as on user side, you will recognize that something has happened and got confirmation on the wiping. Perfect. Then one question, do we need to take any additional actions for the mobile devices that we have already added to our TeamViewer account via the host application?
No, you don't have to change settings on the device before you enroll them to the MDM. You can also use the devices that you already are in your devices list in TeamViewer.
Yeah, I think here is interesting as well. So because if you install host, you need a assignment as well. This is get teamviewer.com and then the config ID. So if you roll out a host module, then you can already put your configuration ID in when you roll it out. So that means you have the assignment already done when you roll it out.
Okay, thank you, Waldemar and Maximilian. Then last question. I'm not 100% sure if I got it right, but I think the question would be, is there a additional MDM demo available, or if we can support on basically individual needs and demos?
Yep, that's possible. For that, you can get back to me. I will show the next slide already. So, oh no, that my email address is not on there. You can get in touch with sales, and then they will do the demo themselves, or maybe they will forward it to me, and I can show you some stuff in more detail, and things that specifically are interesting for you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Max, and thank you, Waldemar. I think that's it from the Q&A side. Nevertheless, I encourage all of you to still take the chance and reach out to us if you have any further questions. Also, if there's open questions left that still come in while we talk, we will get back to you after this session and in the next days. I would like to thank Maximilian and Waldemar for joining today, for hosting us, for doing the presentations. Very insightful. And I would thank all of you for taking the time today to join in and listen. You will receive the recording still today if you want to go in and revisit certain aspects of it. And with that, I think there's no further things that I would like to share for now. So I wish you all the best, and I hope to see you in one of our next webinars. Have a great day.